Hey everyone, this is Kenny Coins with Marathon Money, and I have here is Daniel Wagner from Rezolve AI. Man, it's one of those companies I got told about by several of our audience members, so I decided to reach out, and then happened to work out. You know, what I mean, so I'm really happy he's on. The race to AI is like my girlfriend said, is a gold rush right now. Everything is pretty much about AI infrastructure, um, and e-commerce, and how things are moving towards that. And I'm glad to have you on the show. I did read a lot about your company, e-commerce, and how you guys want to, take over the space, and how you guys want to get consumers involved. Um, but I'll let you start that off and give your background and let everybody know who you are.
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks, Kenny, and thanks for inviting me on to Marathon Money. It's a real pleasure to be here. So, look, AI, it's full of noise. Okay, there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of BS. There's a lot of money being thrown at stuff, black holes of cash, where people are saying, "Look, I need billions of dollars to train my models and all this kind of stuff." I don't buy it. Okay, I've been in e-commerce and information services and search for 40 years. I built the first commercial online information platform in 1984, went on to become the world leader in online information, listed on NASDAQ and the London Stock Exchange before I sold it to Reuters in 2000. And then I built the European market leader for enterprise e-commerce in the noughties until 2014, when I sold it to Oracle, and it's now their main e-commerce stack in the cloud called Oracle Cloud Commerce. But before that, it was my company that they bought from me. So I've been around the block, right? And I know what's going on. And we started building Rezolve back in 2016. We understood that AI is transformative. I've got the best AI engineers from the very top engineers in the world working at Rezolve, and we built world-class infrastructure for retail and commerce using AI. So we focused on this vertical of retail and commerce because it's something I understand, right? I mean, I built e-commerce platforms, I've been in search and so on, so I understand it. But B, it's a multi-trillion-dollar market, right? And I believe that AI needs to be focused into very tight verticals, it's not that tight, but I mean into specific areas. And we want to lead that space. So we think that we are the pioneer and the potential global market leader in this space. We want to own it. We believe that we have the capabilities to own it. We have built technologies that do really cool things for commerce and retail and digital channels. And what are those cool things? I think a lot of people don't really care about what AI is or does. They just want to understand what it can do for them. Okay. And right now, a lot of people
that is true. That is 100% accurate.
That's why I say there's a lot of BS out there, right? Because there's a lot of people out there saying, you know what, we've built this LLM, right? You can go knock yourself out and build things on top of it. And people go, well, what am I going to build? And what's it going to do? A lot of people don't know what they want to do with it. So what we've done is we've built a specific LLM or large language model, Gen AI, right? That allows a conversation as if you're talking to the best salesman on the planet. Okay, we've trained our model to be brilliant at sales. So we can then ingest a product catalog from a retailer, and like you would train a sales guy on, in the store, right? You tell them what the products are. We train our language model to be the most sophisticated salesperson. And then I can ask questions like, I need 2 tickets to New York, leaving on a Friday morning, coming back on a Monday night. I want to fly business class. I want to fly direct. I want to sit on the aisle. What have you got? Or I could say to maybe Best Buy, right? They're not a customer, but I'll give you an example, right? I could say to them, I'm interested in buying an 80-inch TV, but I don't know whether to get the Sony or the LG. Which one do you recommend? Now, you can't have a conversation with a digital platform today that asks for an opinion, because you won't get an opinion. You just get a list of products and you filter it by things, and you're expected to know what you're doing, and you're expected to know about the products. But what we're doing with Rezolve is it allows this conversational engagement with the best salesman. You get advice, you get input, you get insight, and you get the answer. So we've trained our models to do that. We think it's a real level up on commerce today, transforming the way you interact with digital platforms. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're selling. And then what we've done, of course, is we've partnered with the biggest companies in AI, Google and Microsoft, both of whom recognize that we built something extraordinary, different, unique, and capable. And they are now selling it into their retailers and into their companies and into their brands that they believe could use our technology. And that's a real win-win for us, because we're not a big enough company to reach every company on the planet. But with these partners, we're able to do that. So that's where we are. We're going to be the market leader here. We're going to build the market-leading platform in AI for commerce and retail, and we are the only game in town today. And we've been around for eight or 9 years, and it's a big opportunity. And we know what we're doing, and it's not a sinkhole of cash. We're not burning billions of dollars buying chips and all that nonsense. We've built our model, and now all we're doing is going out and selling.
Now, I know you said a lot here, and I want to kind of take it back
to
like the base. You're creating an AI model that is going to be unique for the spaces in. Am I correct?
No,
if you're at it,
You've already built it.
You already built it.
We've built it over the last 8 years. We've got patents and trademarks and structure. And what we've done is we built on top of those, on top of that language model, we built products. Brain Commerce, which is a conversational commerce piece. Brain Checkout, which is an AI-driven checkout, fast checkout. And Brain Assistant, which is customer support. And those 3 products, they're designed to do one thing, really: improve conversion on, prevent cart abandonment on e-commerce sites and digital platforms, just getting people through the order process. I'll give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. If I wanted to get tickets for the theater on Broadway today on a digital site, I would go to Ticketmaster, or I'd search on the internet, I'd go to, buy some tickets, right? And I would go first and I'd see what tickets, what shows are on Broadway. And I get a whole load of results. Then I'd say, filter by comedy and musicals, right? And I get a whole load of results. Then I'd have to work out which ones are the popular ones on Broadway, which are the ones in off Broadway, which ones are rated high by the critics, which ones aren't. And then eventually I'll get to some results. And then I'll go, I need to get 2 tickets on Wednesday, the 27th of March in the stores. And then they go, there's none available. Okay. So I've wasted all that time. Okay. Well, what we do at Rezolve is I can just say to my mobile phone, to an app, right? I need 2 tickets to a comedy or a musical on Broadway on Wednesday, the 27th of March. I want to sit in the center stalls. I want a popular show that's highly rated in the middle on Broadway itself. What do you recommend? Now that engagement, I'll get an answer, and I'll just go tap, tap and buy the tickets, because I've given them everything in that one sentence. Instead of filter. It's old-fashioned. This is something that was developed 35 years ago, this kind of way we navigate e-commerce. It's rubbish. It's bad. It needs to be improved. And what we're doing at Rezolve is we're improving it. It's got nothing really to do with AI. I mean, AI happens to be the underlying capability set, but nobody cares about AI if you're an e-commerce director. You just care about whether people are abandoning the cart on the way out on the checkout. And 7 out of 10 people who arrive at an e-commerce site drop out the checkout flow. 7 out of 10. So if you can reduce it, right, to 6 out of 10, your revenue goes through the roof. So that's our job, right? That's what we're doing. And
you're not reinventing the wheel. You're just making the wheel better.
Correct. And we're not trying to displace jobs, and we're not trying to do anything, crazy. And we're not saying to people, here's a model, go knock yourself out and spend millions of dollars with Accenture or, Deloitte Digital, whoever it is, to build stuff on a language model and spend the next 2 years trying to create something you don't even know what you want. We're just saying, hey, you've got a problem with a checkout attrition. You've got, cart abandonment. You've got a problem where customers arrive at your website and they can't get answers to the question. They want a small fridge that fits into this particular, location. Is the freezer cold enough to keep ice cream? I can't see the answer on that. It says it in the specs, but I don't understand the specs. I mean, my wife, right, wouldn't have a clue how to buy a mobile phone, because she doesn't know what an OLED screen is, and she doesn't know what a megabyte is, and she doesn't know what a pixel is, and she doesn't. So she'll look at the phones, right, and she'll think, oh, well, I'll get an Apple phone, or I'll get a Samsung, or I'll get an Android phone. You know, she doesn't know. So she can go into a store, the AT&T store on Madison Avenue, and somebody will tell her, hey, you know, the Android's good with battery life, and iOS is good, you know, Apple is good if you've got, you know, Apple devices, and yeah, she'll get an explanation, but she doesn't get that from the website. So we're changing that. What Brain Commerce does is it takes that whole relationship up to another level. I'll give you one more example, okay? If I go to a photography website and I want to buy a camera, okay? If I go to the website, I need to know that the EV range and the lens has this much light meter capability, I don't know, some technicalities to compare the Sony camera versus the Nikon, right? I don't know which one's going to be better, but you know, but if I went into the store, Best Buy or somewhere, the sales guy or the sales girl will take me through that, right? They'll explain. So what we do is we train our model on all the cameras in the inventory. And then we train the model on all the photographers out there for the last 100 years. Who are the best photographers? What type of photography did they do? Why are they renowned for being good or not good? You know, all that sort of stuff. We just ingest that into the model, all the books, right? Then we ingest into the model all the specialist books about how to do photography. And then we ingest all the user manuals of all the cameras. Now you've got a model that's more sophisticated than the sales guy in Best Buy. Or maybe it's as good as the person who's been selling cameras for 25 years and really understands photography. You know, that great salesperson that you sometimes meet in the store and knows everything, you know, about the luggage or everything about the camera. And you go, oh, this is great. This guy or this girl knows everything and can help me. You don't get that on the internet until now. Now we can make every time you interact with a digital platform the best experience. And that's what we're selling to retailers. And it's just like, such a leveling up that it changes everything for retailers. That's why we're on a tear, right? Because we think, you know, we're gonna dominate. We're you know, this is a land grab for us now. With our partners, Google and Microsoft, we have intro into everybody, pretty much every major business, and we have to sell through our solutions in a way that captures the market before anybody even knows the market was ready for it. You know, we're that far ahead of the game.
No, I got it now. It makes perfect sense. You know, you guys are already on the point of selling, because I remember you were saying that a while ago that now you guys are out to market, pushing this product out there. So what are the measurable returns of investment have clients reported?
So look, we're just getting going. We listed in August of last year. You know, it was nobody knew who we were. It was an early days. It was a de-SPAC, which was not the best route to go to get listed. But then suddenly, you know, we started getting analyst coverage, and all 5 analysts who are writing on the company are strongly recommending the stock. We did a deal with Microsoft, then we did a deal with Google, then we did a deal with Tether or USDT, the crypto company. So we're working on with them to develop a tap to pay using crypto in retail stores. You know, a really convenient way to spend crypto as a currency, because crypto isn't really a currency today. It's like an asset. We call it cryptocurrency. We can't spend it easily. So we're creating a whole infrastructure to spend crypto as a currency in any store. And we're going to be launching that later. We're going to be releasing that later this year. So we've got these enormous partners. We've got this fantastic analyst support and recommendations. We're listed. We've got currency in our stock. We can do acquisitions, which we're going to do. We're going to create the market leader. And I mentioned to you before about my previous businesses. I mean, I created the world leader in online information in the 80s and the 90s. And then I created the market leading enterprise e-commerce platform in Europe, and was bought by Oracle in America. It's now Oracle Commerce Cloud, arguably one of the biggest and most successful e-commerce platforms in America and elsewhere. And you know, we're not in this to build a kind of mid-sized business. This is not a folly, right? This is a mission. This is a vision, and we're going to execute flawlessly.
Nothing about what you're saying is even remotely mid-sized, because what you're going after, it's over 500 billion. There's nothing about what you're saying.
This is going to be the biggest company I've built in my life.
But what
we're as here in this company, as I've ever been in any business I've started. And the reason is we've got all the smarts, all the skills, all the experience. We know how to build world leaders. We know how to build market leaders. We know how to navigate competition. I welcome competition, right? But we don't have any right now. But I welcome them when they come in, which they will, right? We'll have competition coming into our space over the next 18 months, 2 years. But we're going to beat them. We're going to beat all of them. And we're going to become the market leader in this space. And we're going to get all the rewards for it. And we went public for this very reason, right? We wanted the public markets to be behind us, right? We want to use our currency. We want to be able to be ambitious with acquisitions. We want to be ambitious with our capital raising. We want to be ambitious with the utilization of our presence in the market to drive momentum and growth. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
we're going to smash it.
Yeah, so on that note, you keep bringing up acquisitions. What acquisitions are you looking at, or what acquisitions you already have?
So we're working on a number of acquisitions that will provide us with footprints in different markets around the world. We can't do this just organically. It's even if we had $1 billion in cash in the bank, you can't grow a business fast enough organically to dominate a market this big, right? This is as I said, multi-trillion-dollar market. You can't do that.
Acquisition is very, very important.
Very
important.
So we can acquire a business. I don't know. Let's say we bought a business in Mexico or in Spain, or we're not going to go and open up in Spain anytime soon, right? We're not going to build a sales team in Spain, and we're working on the United States and maybe some big markets in Europe, but we're not going to be opening in Spain or in Italy. So if there's an opportunity to acquire a business to get a ready-made sales team, to get a ready-made infrastructure that has relationships with clients, and then we can upsell our tech into those clients, that's perfectly sensible, right? And we need to do that fast to put flags down in each key market so that nobody is going to mess with us, right? Because we want to be there before anybody else. We've got the products, we've got the momentum, we've got the market, we've got the partners, we've got the capital. We're really nicely sorted and really well framed as we go into 2025 to smash it, right? And that's our job. That's my job. Mine and my team's job is to deliver. So we're not here saying, hey, we need to raise $300 million to go invest in teaching our language models some stuff, right? We've done that. We're in the business now saying we've got to go out now and win the market. And we're going to win the market. That's our job.
I see like when you mentioned like you have partnerships like Microsoft, Google, Microsoft is a brain suite integration with 130 million cold sell go to market, access to 35,000 Microsoft sellers. Is that kind of what you're using to gain your access to get more footprint quicker?
It's more than that, actually, Kenny. It's more than that. So Microsoft and Google independently looked into the market and recognized there's only one player that has everything they need to sell to retail and commerce, retail customers for AI, right? And they identified us. And then there was a kind of competition almost to sign us up exclusively as their partner. And I wasn't going to do that, right? Because we think we don't want to limit ourselves to anything, right? And in the end, we signed up both of them, okay? Microsoft spent 4 to 5 months in the lead up to signing the contract with us. We went all the way up to the top in their AI team to evaluate our tech, what we were doing, how we were doing it, how it compared to OpenAI, which they have an $8 billion investment in. And they recognize that what we're doing is unique and very well suited to e-commerce and retail. So on the back of that, they then went to their industry leads in sales, their sales leads in industry, and they went, oh, this is fantastic. Our customers are going to love this. So after that, then they signed a deal with us to say, you know what, we're going to sell you through our channels. We're going to introduce you to our customers. And they're incentivizing their customers to buy our technology by saying, if you've got a commitment to Microsoft, every dollar in that commitment that you spend on Rezolve will count to reducing your commitment with us. So they kind of offset commitments from customers by them buying us as if we were a Microsoft product. And then they said to their salespeople and their ISVs, if you sell Rezolve into your customers, we'll count that towards your quota, dollar for dollar. So they've got their sales teams promoting us. They've got their customers being incentivized to buy us. We are, processing this volume of demand that's coming through. We've got the same thing happening with Google. It's fantastic. I mean, it's great. And that's only because we've got the right product at the right time, when the market is hot and all the alternatives out there are trying to buy and build. It's like me coming to you and saying,
That's why I was kind of saying.
yeah, it's like you say to me, hey,
Yeah.
Dan, I need an apartment. And I go, here's a bag of cement and some glass. Good luck. Knock yourself out. But
Like
not
I was saying like earlier, I think these partnerships are to get your footprint quicker and faster and bigger.
that's
Because
one way.
that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Because if they're using their sales department to push out your product with their product, is only going to make your company bigger and footprint size a lot quicker. And
Yes.
I think that's the best base gist of it, in my
Yes.
understanding. Like
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about it from an investor standpoint. You
Yeah.
know, you're not just going out there using your own sales team, you're using Microsoft, Google, and Tether's
That's right.
sales team.
Look, the fastest way to win customers is through recommendations. And if the recommendation is coming from Microsoft to a customer of theirs, or it's coming from Google to a customer of theirs, you're already half the way there, right? Because people have a high regard for both Microsoft and Google when it comes to AI, because those guys are the leaders in software. So, we're in the right company. We got the right partners. They partner with us for a reason, right? Not just because, we're nice. They partner with us because they believe we've got something that they can sell, that we've got something that's valuable to their customers. And if you look at for example, the video from Nick Parker on our website, where he talks about why they're excited about working with Rezolve, you can hear, they're excited because we've got great tech. We've designed that tech specifically for retail and commerce, and nobody's doing that, right? Nobody's identified how AI can be deployed in vertical markets, tight vertical markets like we have done. And I think part of it comes from our experience. As I said to you before, I was the pioneer in online information, the first company to digitize newspapers, trade journals, periodicals, allow people to search them in 1984, when I was a very young guy, right? And then I did it again with cloud commerce in 1998, which was before cloud became a big thing. And we created one of the biggest, most successful cloud commerce platforms in the world, which was bought by Oracle in 2014. So, we're ahead of the game. Now we're ahead of the game again with AI. And, don't bet against us, right? Don't bet against Rezolve, because we're going to smash it. That's our focus now, is to take advantage of exactly where we stand. We stand at the vanguard of this market. And it's us to mess it up, right? We can mess it up, but nobody's going to mess it up for us. It's going to be us.
It seems like you guys got the manpower behind you to make this work, because at this point, like you said in this interview, in this sit down, that you're at the point where now it's time to move the product, and you got a big sales team, and you got people to vouch for you. And
we've got a third-party sales team, right, in Microsoft and Google, and of course they're never going to be as committed as we are, right? They're going to be committed because they're incentivized to be, but the best sales will always come from card-carrying Rezolve salespeople, and we're building that out now too, because we just, we got $30+ million in the bank. We've got the ability. We've got no toxic debt, or any funky structures around us. So we're a nice, clean public company with cash in the bank, great products, great partners, great opportunity. And we're going to start to really push that out as we roll out our sales infrastructure in the US. And that's just going to yield momentum and growth. We believe that, the next couple of years are going to show fantastic momentum and growth in the business.
But I do want to know one thing. What is the conversion rate when people, the conversion improvement rate that merchants have seen?
Well, okay, we don't have enough material, data analytics to give you, something that can be reliable, right? But I will tell you that we believe it's more than a 30% increase in conversion. So it's quite material, and it's not too surprising. But we need more data, which will come out over the coming year to validate that. But even if it's 5% improvement, it's massive, right? So we think that we have a huge impact on improvement. But just think about yourself, Kenny, right? When you buy things online, wouldn't you rather just talk to your laptop or type in a question, get answers, instead of having Because what you do instead today is you go to a website, you look at the different air fryers, right, or whatever it is you want to buy, right? Then you end up going to YouTube, looking at all the unboxing, listening to people reviewing them. Then you go and look at the reviews, and wouldn't you just like to ask the most knowledgeable salesperson, who's reviewing this, and who says this is the best, and why is that the best? Why is that one the better than that one? And what's better for doing French fries versus doing, fried chicken, or whatever it is, right, that you want to use that product for, and get answers to it. You can't do that today. If I went to go and buy an air fryer, I'm just going to see like air fryers and specs. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know whether it's going to cook chips nicely or not, right? So this is the thing. We're leveling up commerce. It's a whole different thing. It's going to change everything for retailers and for consumers.
Yeah, your ideas, what you have, and what your plan for the future, and the plan for the e-commerce space. I believe it will work definitely, because if you can make searching more efficient and everybody can get what they want in a matter of seconds, it would be revolutionary. It would
Exactly.
stop.
Well, let's call it evolutionary, right? Because we've got something now that's okay, but it doesn't do it great, right? And what we're doing is we're leveling it up, so it's another step forward. But we're not trying to, I don't buy the kind of robots and avatars, and this is just functional improvement using AI that makes a big difference to the way consumers are able to buy stuff, right? And it's just going to make it easier, better. I mean, if I wanted to ask, I'll give you another example, right? If I wanted to get a hotel room in New York, right now I get to see a picture of a room, and I don't know. I'd like to say I'd like a room on the 7th floor or above, or I don't want to go on a high floor. I want a low floor room, and I want to answer questions like that. But I can't do that in digital channels. I have to go and pick up the phone and speak to the hotel itself. But you can with our technology, because it can ingest all of that data. I can ask anything because the data's there. It's just not in the website.
No, I completely agree with you. But I got a few more questions before it all ends. But I think a good chunk of why people leave the website because they don't know exactly what they want yet.
Correct.
If they get an air fryer, they don't really know what comes in the air fryer. He was talking about how the salesman will be able to know all that. How does your AI model be able to guide that person to get to the point, this is what I want?
So look, sales is always about the knowledge that what you know about the product you're about to buy. If you knew everything about this air fryer versus this air fryer, everything, right? If you'd read the user manual and all the specs, if you read every review, if you'd seen every unboxing, if you've been through that painful process of learning everything about this air fryer, that air fryer, and the other one, right? You would then be able to make a decision because you know everything, right? You know that this one doesn't have a drawer. This one turns off after 30 minutes and you have to wait 30 minutes to put it back on again. This one you have to take the oil out. I don't know, right? Whatever it is, right? You know about all these things. So then you say, you know what? I want that one because I don't want all the mess. Now, if you can ask Brain Commerce, the AI generated engine that has ingested every product user manual for each air fryer, has ingested all the product material about the product, has ingested all the reviews, has ingested all of the YouTube unboxing videos, has read books, air fryer books about how to cook this and cook that, has read books from chefs about recipes for air fryers. And if I go and say, look, I really just want to cook eggs every day in my air fryer and I want to cook chicken every weekend, which one is the best for me? It's going to be able to give you the answer. This is the best one because it's real good at cooking eggs, and these chefs love cooking eggs in it. And there's some recipes for you, right? And it's great at cooking fried chicken because it's not oily and it does this and it does, I don't know, right? Whatever it is, right? And it'll give you the answer. And there it is. And you just go tap, tap, and I bought it. That's it. $120 and I'm done, right? I haven't spent an hour or 2 or 3 or half an hour or days faffing about, right? Trying to get my head around it. I've just been told by the most knowledgeable person what to do. Now, I might not believe that knowledgeable person, but that's about trust with the retailer and trust, that's something else. But if I've got all the answers, then I can make a decision. And the reason you don't make decisions that you can't, and you drop out the checkout flow, partly is down sometimes the fact that you don't know whether it will fit with this, or it's got a cable that will connect that, or it will do this, or it will do that, or it's got enough power, it turns off, turns on, has this, has that, whatever it is that you wanted to know about it, you don't have the answer. So you end up saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy it online. I have to go and see it in the store. Maybe I won't buy it at all, or maybe I'll buy it another day. And that's where the retailer has lost the order. We're all about helping those retailers close the order. Close the order. That's what salespeople do. They close an order, right? You come in, when you're sold well, you're happy when you leave with the product. You go, oh, great, I've got this thing, I feel good. This is the right choice. And that's because the salesperson sold it to you really well, convinced you that it's the right product for you, right? And when you leave a store holding something and you're not really happy, that's when you haven't been sold very well. Or you've been sold badly, right, by somebody who didn't really give you everything you needed, just pressured you into a sale. That's not sales either, right? So we've trained our model to be brilliant at selling.
Correct. So tell me, what's going to happen the next 12 to 18 months that we can look forward?
We're going to deliver growth. We're going to deliver growth, momentum, acquisitions. We're going to surprise you with some deals. We're going to excite you with our progress. We're focused really on AI and crypto. We want to make crypto a standard way to pay. We want to make AI, ignoring the fact that people don't really know what AI can do. We want to make AI deliver a solution to retailers and consumers that really improves their experience. I'll give you another example. If I drove into a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, okay, and a lot of people who drive through those drive-throughs and they hit the button to say, I'd like to get these donuts and a coffee, they don't speak perfect English in America, right? There's lots of multinational people from Korea, originally from Korea, from Japan, from China, from Spain, from Mexico, and their English isn't perfect, right? So they'll speak in there, and then by the time they get around to the thing, the order's wrong, right? Because they said they wanted this donut and this coffee, and it goes slightly wrong, right? Because the person behind the counter also doesn't speak perfect English, right? Well, Brain can sit in between there. Brain can speak in Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Arabic, whatever, right? I can make my order in Spanish, come round and pick it up in English, if you know what I mean. So Brain works in 95 languages. So everything I've told you, the brilliant salesman can interact on, let's say, Macy's website to somebody speaking in Arabic. I can ask questions of, whatever it is I want to buy from Macy's, right, in Arabic. And I get answers in Arabic, and then I buy it. So all of this just kind of changes the quality and the benefit of buying in digital platforms.
All right. So this year and a bit next year, we're probably going to see some exciting stuff coming from you guys.
Look, we're on a journey, right? The next the next few years are going to see this company become the dominant player in AI for commerce and retail, and we're on that path right now. We believe that we're already positioned to be the leader. The analyst community is excited about what we're doing because it's universally recommending us, right, as a buy, and they're right, and we're just going to exceed everybody's expectations. We're going to go out there and do the job that our investors expect us to do, which is build a great franchise in this company, build a great business.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. I think what has hold for the future for your Rezolve is pretty great. And if you can get eyeballs on this, and it seems like you have a big third party outside sales that can get eyeballs on this, it probably will skyrocket, because the more people can see it on their website, the more people that uses it will definitely tell you how much this really can grow. And like, before we get off, what innovations are you planning on to add on after you start seeing growth that you want to see?
Well, look, you've got to remember that we're a tech player, right? So being a technology company, you constantly got to innovate. You constantly got to be ahead of the game. But unlike many of the other players in AI today, we are not a sinkhole of cash. It's not a black hole of money, right? Where billions of dollars are going into buying chips in data centers and other, nonsense, in my view, right? We've built a model that can be deployed by customers today. What we need to do is keep that model fresh, right? So if new words enter the vocabulary, or if new photographers, in the case of a photography website, new developments happen in photography, or drones or cameras or whatever, we need to keep that model up to date, right? So it needs to be fed data to keep it fresh. But it doesn't need huge amounts of content to be fed to it, because all it really needs to know is what the product is and how to sell it, which is what you would train a sales guy whose first day on the job in any retail store. You'd show them what the products are, you tell them why this one's good and that one's good and what have you, and you let them loose on customers who walk through. We just do it better.
But is there a mechanism or a way to adapt to people's personality?
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
I think that would be
We reflect the tone and the persona of the retailer in the salesman. So he or she exemplifies the brand values of the retailer. So if it's Prada or Gucci or some high-end fashion, it would be a very elegant, softer sell, very knowledgeable about the fabrics and the leather and the this, that, and the other. If you're dealing with a Target or a Walgreens, then it's going to be more functional and responsive. But one of the things that we have created is a patent around the empathy that our application has. It has an understanding of how to interpret the question that the customer provides, how the customer asks the questions, to interpret the right answer. And the best salespeople in real life do that, right? If you walked into a store and you said, "Hey, I need some AA batteries right now," I'm going to go, "Okay, 1 second, sir. There's your batteries. That's $14.99. Goodbye." Right? That would be the answer. If you came and you said, "Hey, I need to get some batteries and I'm not really sure what the batteries are," then the answer is going to be softer, right? It's going to be, "Hey, well, okay, let me show you, what's the product." There'll be a softer thing. We have patented a process around that empathy with customers to immediately identify the guy in the hurry, the guy who wants to have a conversation, the lady who wants to understand about everything, the person who wants to just get the order and leave. And there's a lot of subtlety around that.
Dan, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on my show. The patents, the way you guys moved up, seems like you guys done a lot since 2016. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we have. I mean, we were ahead of the game, as I said. Most AI companies popped up in the last 2 years. We've been around, 8, 9 years. We've been building and building. We put $130 million into developing our own, which is not a lot of money, by the way, compared to everybody else, right? But we put $130 million into developing our language models, into developing our processes, so that we're ready to go to market. Then we went public, and now we're going to market. And it's the right time. We built the products. There's no R&D anymore, and it's now just land grab. Let's go get it.
Yeah. So when do you think you'll be profitable?
We can be profitable by year end this year on a monthly basis anyway. Yeah, by the end of this year, monthly basis. But our ambitions exceed that. So we want to show the market that we can be profitable. Then we're going to say, "Look, let's take this market. It's ours." And that creates a very large business. And I'm sure that investors will support us.
Definitely. Definitely, if you're saying that. Because right now, if you're saying you'll be profitable by the end of this year, you're undervalued extremely. Extremely undervalued.
I think we are undervalued. That's why recently, like earlier this week, we took a loan, a clean loan with interest for a year, because we didn't want to sell equity at this price. We think the equity is vastly undervalued. But let the market determine the value as time goes on. But when you look at the market cap of Rezolve is around $500 million, $500 million. Against any other AI company on the planet, we are, good value. So, given that we own our own language model, we own our own assets, we're not building on top of OpenAI or something else. And I think that's great. That's great for investors to get value, and it's great for us to show momentum. We want investors to make money. Great all round.
Thank you, Dan. And I appreciate you coming on my show. And that's all I got. You know what I mean? Enjoy. I don't know if you're flying back and forth or is the headquarters in London?
No, we have an office, and I know our headquarters in New York as well. So we've got
All
two
right.
HQ.
So you'll be coming back and forth.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm also in New York as well. So
okay, great. Let's meet
let
up.
me know let me know when you're down here, and then man, have a great rest of your day. We really appreciate you coming on my show. It was
Thanks,
great to learn.
Kenny. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. Really do.